In today's news, opposition members unite behind ANEGADA's representation bid. Residents of ANEGADA call for dialogue, citing ownership rights and absence of local consultation on ANEGADA dock renovations. Premier Wheatley and CTO head discuss Caribbean hospitality at ongoing conference, and widespread destruction, flooding, and power outages across the region associated with Hurricane Melissa. These and more stories when To It For News returns.
We mash the gas, them bite the dust. We set the speed while they gathering rust. Inside we heart BVI come first. So please don't be fooled, cause they not like us. Once we mash the gas, them bite the dust. Cause we always fast and we always fuss. If you want a real speed, you know who to trust. Somebody better tell them they're not like who? They're not like us. CCT fast, like CCT fast, like CCT just generosity, love the community bad, like CCT first with the 5G. Cause BVI is we.
Welcome to the Wednesday, October 29th edition of To It For News. I am Jacka Wooding Donovan, bringing you the latest out of the British Virgin Islands. Thank you so much for joining us. 3 opposition members are backing calls for ANEGADA to have its own representative in the House of Assembly. At a recent press conference, Territorial Representative Stacey Mather revealed that 80 ANEGADians had signed a letter demanding better representation, which has been circulated to all members of the House of Assembly. He said the request deserves serious consideration as part of the ongoing Constitutional Review Committee discussions. 3 members of the opposition, particularly the members of the Alliance, are in support of ANEGADA having its own representative in the House of Assembly. At a recent press conference organized by the opposition, Territorial Representative the Honorable Stacey Mather told the media that 80 members of ANEGADA had signed a letter asking for better representation, which was given to each member of the House of Assembly. He said this letter came up for discussion as members of the House sit in committee stage examining the Constitutional Review Committee report. Mather says the people of ANEGADA should be given what they are asking for.
There has been deliberations in the committee stage, and as all of us have said, and I've also expressed my opinion where I am troubled by the fact that I cannot speak the people's business in public. I would like to see ANEGADA's voice being heard as the 10th district. I am very cognizant that when the distance that they are away from the other Virgin Islands, they've been screaming, they've been calling, they've been asking for it. And I don't think that, we should focus on the number of voters in the community, but more so the needs of the community. And they have had the courage to put their names on a list, to sign a document. There are 80 persons on that list. And I commend them, because if there's anything else within our community that members of the public feel that they need to speak on, I wish and I encourage them to take the same action that the ANEGADians have taken. We've seen where they've been fighting for their land. They've been asking about their port. They've been asking about their roads. They've been asking about a lot of things. And I think that from within the community, if leadership is there and it has been identified, why stifle it? Why not give them what they're asking for? So when the 2027 election comes around, I'm not sure if ANEGADA will have a district representative, but I can assure you that I will vote for it. I will encourage them to continue their fight, continue to talk to people in the community, the press, everyone, and let their voice be heard, because that is democracy, and we should never stifle that.
2nd District Representative Melvin Mitch Turnbull said that the ANEGADians have been asking for representation for decades, and that they deserve it.
They have said it publicly in meetings, even with the former premier. They've said it with this premier. Now they have taken the step where they have written and expressed their concerns and their desires. And I believe as we are going through this constitutional review process, that is what democracy is all about. One of the other things that troubles me when it comes to ANEGADA, because I also represent, I don't want to call it a sister island, but I represent like, which is part of the Virgin Islands, that they are left out. And I don't for the life of me understand why leadership not understand the wisdom of our forebearers split this territory in 9 districts. We now have 4 at large. If you build your 9 districts, including Just Van Dyke and ANEGADA and Virgin Gorda, you build your country. It is that simple. So for ANEGADians, with the issue with the land, which when I was there for the 10 months in the unity government, and I fought tooth and nail to try to get the land approved, that still hasn't been done. And it is a challenge for them now, where they're saying they need representation in the House of Assembly for the next general elections. I also will support that view to what they're asking for.
Opposition leader Myron Walwyn praised the people of ANEGADA for standing up for their rights and the courage for sending this letter to members of the House of Assembly.
I think many of the other districts could take a page from the people of ANEGADA and be as outspoken and as proactive as they've been on issues that are important to them. Because of the sheer distance of ANEGADA, let us look at it logically and practically. ANEGADA is connected to the 9th District, Virgin Gorda, who has a representative, or even at large. How often can the district representative really get to ANEGADA? The seat of government is in Tortola. And, you know, as good as your ambitions might be, as good as your intentions might be, the sheer distance of ANEGADA creates a challenge in terms of representation, or the level of representation that people are accustomed to. If I leave here now, I will go into District 6, almost every area, and people would see me who want to talk to me can stop and talk with me. Sometimes you just want to do that. They don't want anything. They just want to feel connected and know that if you need somebody, that you are there. ANEGADA doesn't have that, and they deserve it. And with a representative on the ground, it can do so much more to help the economy, to help the social services, to help with the issues of land and so on that they have constantly. So I'm in full support of them, and I really want to commend them again for taking the initiative to send that letter to the House of Assembly, and ask them to keep it up and encourage other districts to do the same. Take a page out of the book of the ANEGADians and stand up for yourself.
Also in ANEGADA, work on the ANEGADA dock project has reportedly been put on hold following strong objections from residents. More in this report. There is word that the work which started on the dock in ANEGADA by the BVI Ports Authority has been put on hold. ANEGADians had expressed their displeasure with the way the works were being carried out and that they were not consulted about the project. Former chairman of the ANEGADA Lands Advisory, Darrell Ron Jr., said the ANEGADians continue to stress that this is their land, which the port is seeking to place the development on, and they are not in agreement with how it is being done.
As of currently, through my communication with Director Pickering, a message was sent in our WhatsApp chat group for ANEGADA, as well as a notice issued last night in the very same chat group that the construction is in fact on hold, pending a meeting which will take place tomorrow, time to be determined. And we look forward to whatever open discussions we could have to make sure that whatever new facility is built, it is in accordance to what ANEGADians desire and not just what is placed on. So yes, we were able to discuss and have our views voiced with Director Pickering, and we look forward to this meeting tomorrow. The main concern for many ANEGADians from the last consultations and from individuals who contacted me is the fact that they are seeking to use the parking lot and place this trailer and these facilities dead smack in our parking lot. If you understand ANEGADA, when you come out for the dock in ANEGADA and you know that parking lot, and many will agree that this is not a sightly site for us to have. Not only that, the parking lot has always traditionally been a place for ANEGADians to gather. It is ours. It's an open space where we can use for any kind of event you want to have, and for port to come and say, or the British Virgin Islands Port Authority, to be correct, to come and say, oh, we're going to do this and we're going to strategically place this here, or whatever the case may be. You have to look at that wording. You strategically place in the trailer because the standards say that based off of where the trailer is, you have to put a gate. But if you place the gate, we told you to place the gate, that place the trailer, when we told you to place the trailer, the gate, and I stress greatly, there has never been in no other official port of entry, you do not see no gate around any parking facility. You see the gates around storage areas. So by placing the trailer, where they are placing the trailer, they are putting ANEGADians in a bind. We told them that they can use a budget, come to ANEGADians with a development where you spend your money and present something to ANEGADians just like you would have done at the Western Terminal, just like you would have done in any other port of entry. As it stands right now, Trellis Bay Bathroom have more media coverage and more concentration and care and concern in it than ANEGADians have with this proposed development. Another thing, too, by this fisherman that they told me to stress is they do not want any form of gate around their fishing ramp. The access ramp for the fishermen is in question and will be included in this gate, even though they were told in the press release that the gate would never be locked. I just have a question as for now. How long is this gate not going to be locked, going to be a thing? And if it ain't going to be locked, why you putting a gate there for? And I mean, to me, the whole thing just don't make any sense, and ANEGADians are very uncomfortable with it. But especially at the fact that they did not get to voice their opinions, and the last time they voiced their opinion, it was a resounding no. They did not want it.
Up next, Premier Wheatley and CTO head discuss Caribbean hospitality and widespread destruction, flooding, and power outages across the region associated with Hurricane Melissa. These and more stories after a word from our sponsors.
Just give me my service. Yeah. Just give me my service. Just give me my service.
Make the switch to CCT and get connected today. Unlimited talk, text, and data. Visit any CCT store or call us at 444-4444. CCT, life unlimited.
At Higher BVI, we're not just about business. We're about empowering lives, and that is because we aspire to inspire. By choosing us, you're supporting a company that believes in equal opportunities, diversity, and community growth. Our mission goes beyond profit. It's about providing HR solutions, fostering talent, and leaving a positive impact. Join us in building a better future, a better BVI. Choose Higher BVI, where your support isn't just a transaction, it's a transformation. Together, we're changing lives in these beautiful Virgin Islands.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying with us. Secretary General of the Caribbean Tourism Organization, that is Donna Regis Prosper, said that while the organization fully embraces technology, it must be used to enhance, not replace, human connection. Speaking at the opening of the CTO Regional Tourism Human Resources Conference, currently being held in the Virgin Islands, Regis Prosper said innovation should blend tradition with creativity, ensuring that people remain at the heart of Caribbean hospitality. Secretary General of the Caribbean Tourism Organization, CTO, Donna Regis Prosper, says the CTO fully embraces technology, but the organization believes that technology should not enhance human connection. Regis Prosper's comments were made at the CTO Regional Tourism Human Resources Conference, which began here in the territory on Tuesday and will run until Friday. Delegates to the meeting will explore how HR leaders can balance technology, talent, and culture to create workplaces that foster engagement, resilience, and service excellence. The CTO Secretary General says innovation does not mean abandoning tradition, but infusing tradition into creativity.
Now let's explore the world of work, how it has changed in more ways than we could imagine post-pandemic. While preparing for this speech, a headline caught my attention. As of today, Thursday, October 28th, Amazon plans to cut as many as 30 corporate jobs. Driven by post-pandemic demand normalization and allowing the growing ability of AI to perform human functions. Could something like this happen in the Caribbean, specifically within the Caribbean tourism space? At the Caribbean Tourism Organization, we fully embrace technology, but we believe that technology should enhance human connection, not replace it. The question is, how do we innovate with the human touch? Innovation does not mean abandoning tradition. It means infusing tradition into creativity. Think for a moment about the best vacation that you've ever had. Was it the strong Wi-Fi? Was it the automated lighting that you couldn't figure out in the rooms? Was it the confusing elevator and you landed at the wrong stairs? Or maybe it was that QR code that could not work in your room to order room service. Maybe, just maybe, it was the warm smile of the person who greeted you, the person who intervened when technology did not work. That sense that someone truly cared about you. That, ladies and gentlemen, is our human advantage. But innovation is not about gadgets or apps. It's also about mindset, encouraging curiosity, rewarding problem solving, empowering people to make decisions that delight guests on the spot.
Premier and Minister responsible for tourism, Dr. Natalia Wheatley, said that tourism in the Caribbean is not powered by planes, hotels, or technology. It is powered by the people. Premier Wheatley said having this CTO HR conference in the BVI is very important because the people in the local industry recognize that hospitality is critical. Premier Wheatley said this year's theme for the conference, The Human Touchpoint, Redefining HR Excellence in Caribbean Tourism, could not be more fitting, because if there is one thing that defines Caribbean people, it is human connection, that special warmth, that genuine care, and that ability to make every guest feel like family.
Let's be clear, the Caribbean is not just competing globally, we're leading globally. Because nowhere else on earth can match our natural beauty, our culture, and most of all, our people. This conference is more than an event, it's a movement to elevate how we see human resources, not as a department, but as the heartbeat of our tourism industry. So as we open this conference, let's do so with excitement and pride. Let's share ideas boldly, collaborate openly, and celebrate loudly. Because we have every reason to be proud of who we are and where we're headed. And when the sessions are over, when the last panel has wrapped up, And when we gather to say our farewells, I hope you leave the Virgin Islands inspired, rejuvenated, and reminded of the incredible power of the human touch. Friends, colleagues, partners, this is our moment. The Caribbean is ready to redefine what excellence looks like in tourism, and it starts with each of us right here, right now, in these Virgin Islands.
On the regional scene, Hurricane Melissa has ripped through the Caribbean, leaving widespread devastation in Jamaica before making landfall in Cuba as one of the most powerful storms ever recorded in the Atlantic. Melissa struck Jamaica earlier this week as a Category 5 hurricane. The storm's ferocious winds and torrential rain tore through homes, uprooted trees, and caused massive flooding, with entire neighborhoods submerged and much of the island left without power. Jamaican Prime Minister Andrew Holness has declared the country as a disaster area, granting authorities expanded emergency powers, including the ability to enforce evacuation orders and regulate prices to prevent gouging. Officials described the storm as unprecedented in its destruction, particularly in the island's western regions, where Melissa's slow movement intensified its impact. Minister of Local Government in Jamaica, Desmond Mackenzie, called the hurricane one of the worst experiences that the country has ever encountered. Images from across Jamaica showed cars overturned, rooftops ripped away, and roads buried under debris. The effects of the hurricane were felt across the wider Caribbean, even in nations not directly in its path. In Haiti, authorities reported that 25 people were swept away in flash floods linked to Melissa's outer bands. After crossing Jamaica, Melissa weakened slightly into a Category 3 storm, but remained extremely dangerous as it made landfall in Cuba late Tuesday night. Up next, 3 Seacoast Bay institutions benefit from latest round of donations from Mr. Willock, and forecasters predict light winds, slight seas, and minimal shower activity into tonight. These and more stories when To It for News returns. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. 3 schools in the Seacoast Bay community have received support through a joint initiative by One Mart Superstore, local businessman Julian Willock and his 3rd District Committee, with assistance from Kishma P. Forbes of Virgin Islands School and Office Supplies. More in this report. 3 schools in the Seacoast Bay community have benefited from a collaboration between One March Superstore and local businessman Julian Willock, along with his 3rd District Committee. Ms. Kishma P. Forbes of Virgin Islands School Supplies and Office Supplies also played a vital role in this initiative. On Monday, October 27, 2025, One March Superstore donated a total of 15 cases of bottled water to Mr. Willock and his committee. Of that total, 3 cases were given to needy families in the Seacoast Bay area, while the remainder was distributed among 3 schools in District 3. The Ebenezer Thomas Primary School, the Seventh-day Adventist School, and St. George's Secondary School. Speaking at the handover at the Ebenezer Thomas Primary School, local businesswoman, educator, and Chief Operations Officer of One Mart, Mrs. Judith E. Vanterpool, who is also a Seacoast Bay resident, noted that her father was an avid horse owner and trainer as she admired the horse logo of the school. She noted that One March Superstore was, quote, delighted to make the donation, and she was happy to give back to her own community. She mentioned that she also taught at Ebenezer Thomas Primary School for 1 year, many years ago, and she continues to check in on the academic performance of the school to ensure it remains on top. Principal of the Seventh-day Adventist School, Mr. Wade Tobin, said he was grateful for the bottled water and that they would be put to good use. The same sentiments were reflected by the St. George's Secondary School from both students and teachers. Willock noted that, quote, the smiles on the faces of the principals, students, teachers, parents, and community members were truly encouraging. The former Speaker of the House of Assembly stated both his and the committee's gratitude to the One March team for their continued support in the community, as well as his committee members. Over the past 2 years, Willock and his 3rd District Committee, along with Ms. Forbes, have donated countless items to the 3 schools, including books, backpacks, fans, filing cabinets, teaching materials, general student supplies, chairs, lunch benches, and now bottled water. In a Facebook post, Willock stated, "We do this out of love for our community and the critical importance of education." One Mart and their group of companies are known throughout the territory for giving back and for their generosity to many communities. In weather, mostly settled conditions will prevail across the territory over the next 24 hours. Shallow patches of low-level clouds will occasionally move through the area, bringing brief, light showers in some locations. Tonight is expected to be partly cloudy with a 30% or low chance of brief rainfall. Winds will blow from the east-southeast at 6 to 14 miles per hour. Seas are expected to remain slight to moderate, ranging from 3 to 5 feet, and sunrise tomorrow will be at 6:17 a.m. That's it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for daily news updates at 284media.com, like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and X, formerly Twitter. I'm Jaco Wooding Donovan, and I will see you again tomorrow, so have yourself a safe and enjoyable evening. Goodbye.